so you want to play rough?
Yo, what is going on, guys and girls? It's of course your one and only boy here, REPO-RODGE. Today I'm going to basically show you how I do my thumbnails, and a lot of professionals do their thumbnails as well, okay? So stay with me on this. You can make images just like this one here, like this one here, this one here, this one here, this one here, and many more, guys, okay? So just bear with me. What you'll need is you'll need Steam. So once you've got Steam downloaded, okay, which is here, obviously you download to Steam. Once you've got Steam open up Steam, go into Source Filmmaker. Alright, so this is Source Filmmaker here. You have to excuse the junk that I've got on the screen here, right? Double click on this to open up Source Filmmaker. Okay. A lot of people wanted to for me to do this on the channel, okay, so they requested me to do this, okay. Now it says here Source Filmmaker, that you just name it something in the directory as well where you want it to actually save into. I don't mess too much with this. Once you've set this up, you don't need to do it. You don't need to do it again, okay. So go into create, hit that create button, and it'll come up. Ignore this. It says here, do you want to unsubscribe from that? Just put cancel, okay. So no map loaded. It says here, and all you can see is a black screen. Let me just you're going to need to press the timeline here. This is probably one of the first things you'll need to do. Make sure that that middle button there is checked, okay? Let me open this up here real quick. Now, 1 second. Have I got a message here? Yeah, I have. Let me just close that down for a second. 1 second, Kings. Now, okay, so it's basically opened up, but it says there's no map loaded. So you need to go into the file, top left-hand corner here. Okay, make sure you click on that and go into load map, all right? Then it'll give you a few options here, but I've obviously checked this one. So what you need to do is type in black void, okay? It will just come up. It should come up when you press BLA. Go into black void here, click on open, okay? Give it a couple of minutes to load up, guys. Once it loads up, you still won't be able to see anything but the red writing at the top here. Now remember, this program is actually free. There it is. So it's loaded up, but you still can't see anything, okay? So now we need to import something into here. So go onto this little box here and go onto right click. Okay, so right click and then go create animation set for new model, third one down. Click on that, okay? Let it load up. Now I've obviously typed in Fortnite. There's a few other things as well on this file list, but you can just click on Fortnite. Now you need to import these in. These are in the workshop, in the Steam workshop, okay? You'll be able to find them pretty easily. So go down and let's I'm going to give you a quick run through this. Now let's have a look for something we can find. Let's have a look. Let's go with Jonesy. As you can see on the screen here, it says Jonesy. Okay. It doesn't actually say it there. It just says Acromit Fortnite character. Okay. Click on open. It will come up in this left-hand box. Let's open up another one. All right. Let's go all the way down here to something like Trog. No, we don't want Trog. Let's say the Reaper. Okay. So Mr. Wick. Click on that one there. Okay, and then now we can't see them. We still can't see them, so we need to go into create animation set for new light. Click on that, and now we can see them. Okay, so what you need to do is hold the the left click down, and then use the WASD for zooming in and out. Okay, left click and then WASD, that moves it around. Okay, now click this back onto work camera. Okay, click on the light on the top left hand corner here. Alright, this will give you the light options. Now what we need to do is we need to change the horizontal field of view down here, the third one down. Click on that, hold that left hand down, and then drag it left and right. Drag the mouse left and right. And as you can see, it closes and opens the light kind of thing. So you open up the light all the way, then click on the intensity because it's way too bright, and bring the intensity down. As you can see, just kind of like that. Okay. And then left click again on the mouse, use the WASD keys, but it's Z and X moves the camera up and down, so it pans the camera up and down, okay? Once we do that, we can move the Reaper. So click on the Reaper, click on this one here, which is this symbol here, second from the left. Move the camera back out a little bit, and it'll give you a gyro, okay? So move it left, move it right, move it up, move it down, and so on, okay? Now as you can move it down, so let's say move it to the right here. Go back onto Jonesy, same one, left here, and then move that slightly to the left. Okay, now this one here rotates them, so you can actually rotate the figure just like this. Go onto Reaper, rotate like this. Okay, you've got to be careful. If that's all lit, if that glows orange like that, it means that you can move it on like a gimbal. Okay, so you can move it on a gimbal and move it. You've got to be careful with that. If you only want to move it in one axis, look at that, see the difference? And then obviously the other axis is there like that. So this is just a rough idea. Now click on that one there. We want to move the Reaper in a little bit closer. Okay, once we got the Reaper in closer, we can go into work camera. Once we go into into camera 1, now this will be what the actual thumbnail looks like. So as you can see, it's coming along quite nicely. Now if the lighting is not correct, go into the lighting again. 1 second, and then go into the work camera and move the lighting about, so you can see that the shadow moves around with the lighting like that. So let's move it up a little bit higher, just like that. Now a good technique as well, a good tip for you guys is to go into Windows, hit the Windows bar up here, which is the third one along, go all the way down and go to secondary waypoint. Click on that. This will open here. Once this opens, go into, double click it to camera 1. Now keep this aside. So basically, this is the actual. This is going to be the thumbnail, the finished product. Whoops, my bad. I moved it across. Sorry, my bad. There you go. So camera 1. If you go into work camera, now when you change this work camera, it doesn't change that. You see that? It doesn't actually change that. But so you can always look back on reference. If you go onto work camera, it does. See that both moves there like that. So you want to keep it on work camera while you're doing the work, and then the camera 1 is the actual finished product. Now, let me just leave that there for a second. Let me bring something else in. So if we go into new model and then we get rid of this and we go into fire, so we go fire, boom, there you go, and that's going to give us 1 second. Let's go fire helmet. There you go, fire helmet. Okay, so that's giving us the fire helmet. Then click open. Okay, and then come back out of this. Okay, there you go. Now click on the fireman's helmet, and basically you can move this up and down, forward and backwards and forward, right? So you want that one to go in, and as you can see that it's actually moved towards the character. Give me 1 second, right? So then you can basically spin this around and put this on the guy's head. Okay, I'm not gonna show you too much because it's going to take a little while longer, but basically you can move this in just as you want, and you can put it on Jonesy's head. All right, now it takes a little bit of time to do this, okay, like that. If it doesn't fit properly, there's another technique you can do for all characters. Okay, you can change the size of these characters. So let's say for instance we wanted to change the Reaper. Go into the Reaper on the top corner here. Okay, now right click on it and then go into utilities. Okay, come all the way down and it says add scale control to models. Click on that, then go back into him, open him up and go into unknown, go into body, then come all the way down from body to root transform scale, this one here right at the bottom. Then you've got a slider which gives you the height adjustment. So what you can do is you can then adjust the height and the size of basically the character, so you can have him wherever you place him wherever you want and stuff like that. So that's basically how you adjust the size of the character. Okay, and then it takes a little bit of fiddling, but you can change pretty much everything here, guys. Okay, so you'll have to mess around with this yourself. You can change the facial expressions, the body, the spine. You can bend him over. You can do the arms. You move the arms up and down. Look left and right here. On an axis, depends on how you want to do it, like this. So have a fiddle about with this, and then once you've done that, guys, what you need to do is you need to go into file. Okay, go into export. Okay, go into export poster. Now, I like to continue without saving. You can save if it's a long project, but I like to go continue without saving, depending on how long the project is. Once you've gone onto this, you choose your file destination. Okay, let's call it 1. Okay, just 1, right? And then hit save, and then go. This is the important thing. Okay, YouTube is 1280 by 720. Now, when you type 1280 in, it will automatically come up as 720. 1280 by 720, and then it's going to be PNG. That's the file format for Photoshop, because we're going to be taking this into Photoshop afterwards. Then hit export. Okay, it will scan the actual picture, which is down here. It won't do the work camera, it will just do this camera here. Once that's done, what we can do then is, let me close this down here for a second. Quit without saving. Alright, once that's done, we can open up Photoshop. This is what I do. So I basically open up Photoshop, guys. Okay, go into file and go into new. Oops, 1 second. Go into file, go into new. Like I said, remember, I've actually named this as YouTube because you can name them what you want. So 1280 by 720 at 300 ppi, pixels per inch. create. That'll give you this screen. Okay, once you're in this screen, you can then go down to computer, wherever you save the file. Mine's on my X drive, and then go into sorry, my bad, one second, go into screenshots, and there you go. That's basically the file here. And what you do in this, you just quickly cut around this. Give me one second, let you place it. Use the cutting tool. You can use a quick selection tool, but I'm not really into that. You can use it, but I think it's a bit untidy sometimes, so I don't like to use that. So I cut around it manually. So once you've cut around it manually, guys, okay, like this, let's just have a boom, 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 like this. Okay, you want to right click, you want to go make selection, you want to hit OK, so no feathering. Then you want to go Control Shift I for inverse, and then you want to hit delete. Boom, and you've deleted it. But obviously, once it's a bit tidier, you get the general idea. Then you bring in an image, what you've saved as a screenshot. Let's say, for instance, I don't know. Let's say, for instance, this one here. So you drag and drop this one in here. Click OK to place it. Lift the image above it. Okay, there's the image there. And then what I like to do is I like to go into layer, image adjustments, and I go to brightness and contrast, and I sharpen that up with a little bit with the contrast. You see how that sharpens that image up? So it sharpens the image up with that. Hit OK. Go into image again, go into adjustments, and go into vibrance. Make that a little bit more colorful, not too much, but just a little bit more colorful there. Click OK. And the same with this layer here as well. We're not going to do this, but it's the same with that layer there. And then I like to, with the underlayer here, I like to do this. I like to go into filter, and I like to go blur gallery, and I like to hit blur gallery there, and I like to adjust how much blur so it looks like it's in the background. Okay, and then hit OK. And then once you're done with the image, it should look something like this. Let me just try and show you here, one second. Once you've done that, it should look, once you've adjusted the character, it will look like this, guys. Whoops, let me get rid of this one. Okay, so it'll look like that once you've adjusted everything. As you can see, that once you've added everything and manipulated the characters, it will look like that. Okay, and then what you do is, let's say for instance you wanted to publish this. What you would do is you go File, you'd go to Save As, okay, and then you don't want it in a PSD format. Click down here, you want JPEG, because YouTube thumbnails only take up to 2 megabits, I think it is, and this is a bit more of a size than that. So then just name it whatever you want, blah blah blah, like this, and then save it as a thumbnail. We're not going to do that because we already have one. And then once you've finished with this, guys, once you've done this, it should look, let's just come out of Photoshop here for a second. It should look like this. Give me one second. It should look something like that. Okay, once you've cut around it, once you've blended the background in, once you've adjusted everything and made it all nice. And that is basically how I do my thumbnails, guys. And I've got many more like this. This is exactly the same technique with this one. Same technique with this one. Obviously, I showed you how to shrink the character. Looks like bending them over and snapping his arm off there. You can adjust all the face to it. Yeah, and this one, same with this one as well. That's a pretty good one. Same with this one, and many more, guys. Many more. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. All right, that's just a quick one before I start the stream. All right, guys, leave us a like if you like it. I love you guys. All right, don't think about subscribing if you haven't already. Don't forget. And I'll see you on the stream. Take care, guys. It's your boy Repo Rog. Love you guys.